We love our volunteers, or as I like to call them, active members in service to the beloved community. We see the hats you wear, the plates you carry, and the heaviness of feeling like you have to keep on carrying things that deplete you because of scarcity, the fear that no one else will pick up that important thing. And it's true. Sometimes nobody picks up what we lay down, and that has to be okay. At some point, we have to love ourselves and our lives enough to set things down. Let me share some advice with you from UU minister and singer-songwriter Meg Barnhouse. This is entitled, "Sorry, Hun, Not My Table." I love for a waitress to call me Hun. It's comforting. She doesn't know me, and I don't know her, but we fit into well-worn ancient categories. I am the hungry one, and she is the one who brings nourishment from the unseen source. When I was younger, I worked as a waitress in Philadelphia and New Jersey. I learned useful things while serving food to strangers. I know how to rush around with my hands full, thinking about 6 things at the same time, which has stood me in good stead as the working mother of 2 small sons. I know that people are not at their best when they're hungry. That knowledge helps me to understand world events. If the citizens of the world were well fed, we'd have fewer wars and less mayhem. The most helpful thing I grasped while waitressing was that some tables are my responsibility and some are not. A waitress gets overwhelmed if she has too many tables, and no one gets good service. In my life, I have certain things to take care of: my children, my relationships, my work, myself, and 1 or 2 causes. That's it. Other things are not my table. I would go nuts if I tried to take care of everyone, if I tried to make everybody do the right thing, if I went through my life without ever learning to say, "Sorry, that's not my table, hon." I would burn out and be no good to anybody. I need to have a surly waitress inside myself that I can call on when it seems everyone in the world is waving an empty coffee cup in my direction. My inner waitress looks over at them, keeping her 6 plates balanced and her feet moving, and says, "Sorry, hon, not my table." Does the thought of telling someone, "Sorry, not my table," give you the anxious flutters? Maybe you worried that they'll think less of you if you don't pick up what someone else has dropped, even if it is not something in your skill set or your passion. So we say yes when we should say, "Sorry, no." And then we feel used or not seen, and those feelings do not lead to love and abundance. Jesus said, "I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly." We are not going to arm wrestle the theology or relevance of that statement. What I want you to consider is that there are no strings attached. No, "if you deserve it," or "if you'll do me this favor." I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Not when you're dead, not when you've earned a merit badge, just life abundantly. Last week, we thumbed our noses at scarcity. We played with real money, received it, gave it away. It wasn't ours, but it was ours to give or keep. If you missed that service or just need to experience it again, you'll find it on our YouTube channel, UU Amherst. It was an especially good service. Not because I was particularly awesome as a preacher, but because you were astonishingly awesome in your willingness to play and to get into the flow of giving and receiving. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. That's the grace we sing before dinner at my house. It's the grace I will teach my grandchildren, a grace that speaks to the power of flow, of abundance shared, of gifts given and received in gratitude. And that brings us to the power of gratitude in a season of scarcity. Yes, it is the feeling of scarcity, whether it springs from deep within us or as we engage in the seasonal scarcity practices, that prompts us to overindulge, overspend, all in an effort to prove our love or worthiness. I am just as caught up in it as you are. The grand twins turned 2. Our son-in-law's birthday is Wednesday. Our daughter's birthday is December 14th. Solstice, which we celebrate, is December 21st or 22nd. And the Christmas extravaganza is just later that same week. Egad, that is a lot of potential stuff buying. I mean, gift giving. So when I ask you to look at gratitude and giving in your life, please know that I am right there with you. Even as I was writing this sermon, I paused to make a list of potential holiday gifts that came to mind. Where does the madness stop? Now, I fully realize that there are people within the sound of my voice who legitimately need gifts that provide basics and that provide joy. And we can, collectively and individually, be the sources of those basics and that joy. I hope we are, and not just in anonymous, throw a buck in the kettle ways. I think we should aspire to face-to-face relational gift giving. Maybe we'd even be courageous enough to ask what they want or need. In fact, that's a bit of what we're doing in our relationship with Gateway Longview and the Adopt an Angel program. I encourage you to go to our website, quickly, actually, and choose an angel and bring a gift to the church next Sunday. So time is of the essence. Go to the website right after the service. Don't miss the rest of this. And find an angel that you can pick and purchase a gift or gift card for. It will fill your heart with joy, and trust me, it will fill theirs with joy as well. Now, occasionally, I like to reach out to folks in our congregation that I know are struggling, and I ask them what they need. Sometimes I randomly send a check from the discretionary funds, because I know it's hard to ask for help. I've been there. When we are willing to be changed, and that's what changing our hearts really means, being fundamentally changed for all time, then we are held in and energized by the power of gratitude. We can then begin to create the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. We can begin to transform the story of separation and scarcity into a story of interbeing and abundance. The More Beautiful World Our Hearts Know Is Possible is a book by Charles Eisenstein, and it is a destroyer of paradigms. Well, actually, the old paradigm is bent on self-destruction, so perhaps it is better said that Eisenstein's book is the birthplace of the new paradigm. This is one of those books that I can read and reread and constantly find new insights and pathways for hope in a world where hope is often hard to find. It's from Eisenstein that I first encountered the idea of the world of gift, which is a principle of sacred economics, which might sound familiar to you if you were tuned in to last week's service. Eisenstein writes, "In the beginning was the gift. Our lives were given us. Therefore, our default state is gratitude. It is the truth of our existence." He continues, "In moments of clarity, perhaps after a narrow brush with death or upon accompanying a loved one through the death process, we know that life itself is a gift. We experience an overwhelming gratitude at being alive. Life, like hope, faith, love, and forgiveness, is a gift we have done nothing to deserve and can never repay." Unlike our current economic system, which rewards selfishness and greed, a world of gift is built upon generosity and a circulation of resources. Gifts embody key qualities of sacredness, uniqueness, wholeness, and interdependency. Well, but you know, from you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. A world of gift is part of a story of interbeing, which is a paradigm that reverses and heals the prevailing system, which is at work in the existing story of separation. Let me demonstrate these stories, or paradigms, as we answer two of life's big questions. Big question number one, who am I? In the current story of separation, the answer is, you are a separate individual among other separate individuals in a universe that is separate from you as well. The story of interbeing says we are connected and interdependent. Our very existence is relational and includes the whole universe. Big question number two, what is the purpose of life? The old story declares that there is no purpose, only cause. Since we are fundamentally separate from each other, my self-interest is very likely at the expense of your self-interest. The new story whispers, the purpose of life is to express our gifts. Humanity is meant to join fully the tribe of all life on earth, offering our uniquely human gifts toward the well-being and development of the whole. That may all sound like a utopian dream, but you know, we got to start somewhere. So why not start here? Even though the prevailing paradigm in the world is based in separation and scarcity, we can start practicing the skills that will bring on the world of gift by affirming our interconnectedness and abundance right here. Who better to begin to subvert the prevailing paradigm than a bunch of free-thinking heretics? Like any program for paradigm busting, we need to start with baby steps and grow into this radically different way of being. So let's consider how we will protect ourselves from the holiday mayhem and live in the flow of abundance. It will be a good training and practice ground for us. How might we begin to live into a world of gift right here? How do we manifest the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible? Well, let's start by remembering our connectedness. My being partakes of your being, and that of all beings. This goes beyond interdependency. Our very existence is relational. So everything we do to another, we do to ourselves. Let's affirm that each of us has a unique and necessary gift to give to the world, and that the very purpose of life is to express our gifts. Eisenstein's principles of the story of interbeing are remarkably congruent with the principles of Unitarian Universalism, and if anything, offer us a why to guide our how, a sacred story upon which we can stand to offer our gifts to the world. When we give away our gifts, we are not depleted, but rather blessed beyond measure. Yes, we have our challenges. We have our disappointments and despair, but we are never alone. That's the real gift. We are inextricably connected to one another and to all of life. Life's greatest gift to us is that none of us are ever truly alone.